I think it's everyone's right to trip. At least they should try to trip once before they die, because it's life-changing. It's like everything improves. You become open-minded, right? More sensitive.
Yeah.
I can't explain it. It's the universe that you can't put in everything that the universe teaches you through words. Once the police gets an information about you, you can be brought to jail, or sometimes you can be gunned down. It's unfair. And there's no justice.
Cannabis sativa is something that is illegal.
Philippines.
Illegal in the Philippines and many other parts of the world. I don't know why. I just don't know why.
Sana Amsterdam na lang to.
Yes.
Why do we humans not have the right to do whatever we want with our own bodies? Who decided this?
I don't know when this started, but here in our place, when we smoke this plant, we don't turn violent or harmful.
Good vibes.
To understand the Filipino drug war better and why President Duterte started a drug war in the first place, let's first understand the Philippines itself better and the historical context in which this war took place. The Philippines is the name of a country that is the product of waves of immigration. There's evidence that there have been humans on the islands for almost like 1 million years. They keep finding older humans. Over the millennia, people kept migrating to this volcanic archipelago. From vessels with the earliest humans to ancient cultures that read and wrote. Nowadays, these islands are home to many different cultures with varying levels of independence, bound together by the idea of the nation of the Philippines, an invention from the West. The people who live on these islands, together with all other living things that reside here, are bound together by a resilience against the region's natural forces. Active volcanoes, strong earthquakes, unsuspected tsunamis and an outsized amount of typhoons have hit the islands. The hardships have made the inhabitants each other's kababayan, fellow Filipino. In the last millennium, the islands started receiving Muslim conquerors and Catholic and Protestant colonizers, who started leaving their religious and ethnic marks on different islands. Like its name, the Philippines, which stems from the Spanish colonial age, when invaders claimed the islands for the Spanish crown and named them after future European Emperor King Philip II. The Spanish put the islands under a colonial spell for 3 centuries, until suddenly the United States barged in to bring some freedom and massacre Filipinos, because it had gotten into a war with Spain over Cuba. And the result was that the Philippines became occupied by the United States for about 50 years. It was during these years that the Americans came up with the idea of a drug war. Because of this man, Charles Brent, whose ideology around drugs would inspire the wars against them for the century to come. Brent was a Canadian-American bishop, a Christian man full of good intentions, sent to Manila to run the most important American church in the American colony. Being the bishop, he became the moral center of a relatively small tropical American expat community and became highly influential. Brent became well befriended with governors, presidents, and other people in high places. But as he wanted to be a good Christian, he chose to set up his ministry close to the poorest neighborhoods of Manila, like Binondo, the oldest known Chinatown in the world. There, Brent got acquainted with so-called opium dens, basically chill-out rooms visited by Chinese harbor workers who wanted to relieve pain. Here, customers would come chill, lie down and smoke opium to alleviate any pains that were ailing them. And who knows what was ailing them working in the harbor. But in the eyes of Brent, these people were unproductive, bleary-eyed addicts. He saw the opium use of the local Chinese and he lamented it. He called it the greatest evil in Filipino society. He convinced then President and personal friend Theodore Roosevelt and later William Taft of the need for the United States to wage an international moral battle for the soul of next generations. The very use of the product opium itself would be legally outlawed internationally, and according to Brent, the United States needed to lead this fight. Brent convinced a select group of countries that opium should only be available for medical and scientific use, and was the first to suggest so. To this day, Brent's legacy is visible. The Netherlands still calls its drug laws the opium laws, And the international institution you saw in Vienna at the beginning of this video was built on top of the work Brent started. The drug war Duterte is thus fighting started with an American colonist in his own country. It began with opium, morphine, heroin, then cocaine, cannabis, LSD, MDMA, and today the list contains hundreds of substances. Alcohol, tobacco, and coffee are not on the list of dangerous substances, but coca leaf, cannabis, peyote cacti are. What a coincidence, drugs traditionally popular in the West are not on these lists. The original idea behind the global drug war was born out of a compassion with the people living in the Philippines, a willingness to do good, to help people. But it turns out that such a strict ban on many substances has been equal to the nuclear option. Not allowing it at all makes use of many drugs unsafer and more violent than necessary. In one of the lower income areas of Tondo, I was led to someone who was being extorted for money by the police. A pretty commonly heard story throughout Southeast Asia actually. Her story showed me that the drug laws first thought up only a stone throw away from here have 1 century later become easy tools for corruption. This lady lives with her husband and 2 sons in a room of less than 4 by 4 meters, sleeping on cardboard because they can't afford a bed after their whole neighborhood burned down a few years ago. She told me how the police are keeping her in a bind.
Nakamotor siya si Kenneth, di ba? Hinhin sa motor, then checkpoint. Tapos nung na-checkpoint sila, hinuli na agad sila. Tapos doon pa lang hinubaran na sila. Then the closest down, she said. The police said. Then, siyempre si Kenneth, binaba niya lahat ng damit at wala naman drugs. No more drugs. When I go to the detachment, he have drugs. The police tell me, I put the drug inside the t-shirt of your son. Yeah, I have no money to finance that because
For the bill.
For the bill is 35,000. I have no money to avail that.
Is it only a money thing then? Is this all about money?
Maybe money or maybe political because di ba yung mayor natin bago? Gusto nila magpabango para sabihin na nakahuli sila kahit sino hinuhuli nila. Para lang may endorse sila sa mayor na ganito may nahuli sila, di ba?
You would think that drug laws exist, maybe, to prevent people from harm of these drugs, right? That maybe that's the original idea behind drug laws. But this does nothing to help your son. It seems you are also powerless. You have no power to do anything about this.
Wala ka siguro mapangyarihan.
Oo, siyempre. I have no power. Kasi I'm a simple Filipino. Ganun lang yun pag mahirap ka. Kailangan, kahit mo naman siguro sabihin, may pulis ka, kailangan. Kasi pag drugs, hindi naman ganun kadali ngayon. Mahirap.
The drug war started as an attempt to improve the lives of people. Instead, it has become a tool for the random extortion of people.